If you are over 60 and you sometimes feel cold toes, heavy legs, or that strange tingling that makes you stop halfway to the mailbox, there is something important you need to know. Most older adults believe these moments are simply age catching up. But what is actually happening is far more surprising and far more fixable. It has everything to do with leg blood flow and the subtle early warnings your feet give when they are not getting what they need. Research shows that after 60, the tiny muscles that move blood upward from your feet lose up to 40% of their natural strength. When this happens, poor circulation in the feet becomes more common. Your feet do not warm up the way they used to. Your legs feel heavier after even a short walk. And sometimes, you notice that your feet stay cold even under thick winter socks. These are not small things. They are quiet signals that your leg blood flow needs a gentle reset. I am Dr. James, and for more than 25 years, I have helped older adults restore leg blood flow naturally using simple, safe movements they can do right at home. People from Ohio, Texas, Colorado, and Florida tell me the same story. They try walking more, they try stretching, but nothing seems to wake up their feet. And then they wonder, why does poor circulation in the feet show up even when I am resting? Why does it get worse at night? Why does it feel harder to stand in a grocery store line than it used to? I remember a woman named Ellen, 74 years old, who once had to sit down in the middle of a Walmart aisle because her legs suddenly felt frozen and heavy. She thought she needed medication. She thought something was wrong with her nerves. What she really needed was to reawaken the simple foot movements that support healthy leg blood flow. When she learned them, she looked at me and said, "My feet feel warm again. I thought that part of my life was gone." Let me ask you something. Have you ever felt heavy legs at the end of the day or poor circulation in your feet, even while sitting? Comment 1 if that sounds like you, 0 if not. Your answer helps me understand how to guide you through this. Stay with me. Because the 5 movements I am about to show you may look simple, but movement number 1 is used in cardiac rehab programs across the United States. And when you understand why, you will never think about your leg blood flow the same way again. There is a simple truth most older adults never hear. Your ankle is the first gate that controls leg blood flow. When this tiny joint stiffens with age, the blood in your feet moves more slowly, settles deeper, and makes poor circulation in your feet feel even worse. Many seniors think they need stronger shoes or thicker socks. What they actually need is to gently reopen that gate. I remember a man named Richard, 69 years old, from Michigan. He loved walking his dog every morning, even in the cold. But lately, he said his ankles felt like rusty hinges. His feet would go numb halfway through the block, and he blamed age, arthritis, and even the weather. When he first showed me how little his ankle moved, I told him something that changed everything. "Richard, your foot is not failing you. It is simply stuck. And when the ankle gets stuck, the leg's blood flow slows down with it. Think of your ankle like the doorway of a narrow hallway. If the door cannot open, people cannot pass through. In the same way, if your ankle does not sweep smoothly through its range, blood cannot glide the way your body needs. And after 60, this becomes even more important. The ankle joint loses natural fluidity. The calf pump cannot activate as strongly, and poor circulation in the feet becomes more noticeable, especially when walking on cold floors or standing to cook dinner. The ankle sweep is simple, gentle, almost soothing, but it wakes up the muscles that have not moved fully in years. When Richard practiced it every morning, he told me, "My feet feel warmer before I even put my shoes on. My dog is walking farther than I am." This movement does not require strength. It requires attention. Slow circles, soft sweeps, letting the joint remember how to move again. For many older adults, this alone can bring the first wave of warmth back to the feet, a sign that leg blood flow is finally opening. But here is what surprises most people. The ankle is only the first gate. Movement number 4 activates a part of your foot that most adults never think about. Yet it controls a shocking amount of blood flow. And when you learn how to wake it up, the changes can feel almost instant. Let me show you number 4. Here is something almost no one over 60 is ever told. The toes you walk on, the ones that carried you through work, parenting, church, vacations, and decades of ordinary days, contain more than 20 tiny muscles. But after years of underuse, especially after 60, many of those muscles simply fall asleep, and when they do, poor circulation in the feet becomes even more noticeable. Warmth fades, balance feels off, and your legs begin working harder than they should just to keep you steady. I once met a woman named Sandra, 63, from Texas. She loved cooking for her family, especially on Thanksgiving. But she told me something that broke my heart. She said, "Dr. James, I cannot stand at the stove for more than 10 minutes. My feet turn cold, my legs get heavy, and I have to sit down halfway through dinner." She thought she needed stronger shoes. She thought she needed more stretching. But after watching her walk, I realized the truth. Her toes were barely moving at all. They were not helping her legs' blood flow the way they once did. Think of your toes as tiny levers. When they spread open, even slightly, they lift and pull the soft tissues that support your veins. Picture elevator doors opening just wide enough for blood to glide upward. But when your toes stay tight or curled, that elevator stays closed. The result is slower leg blood flow, heavier feet, and that familiar sensation of cold toes even in warm socks. When I taught Sandra the toe fan, she laughed at how simple it looked. But after a week, she called me and said, "My feet feel warm again before I even started cooking. I thought this was just age. I did not know my feet could still wake up." The beauty of the toe fan is that it works quietly. You can do it while watching the morning news, sitting on the edge of your bed, or resting in your favorite chair. And over time, those tiny muscles begin lifting more blood upward, easing the burden on your calves and improving the warmth you feel in your feet. But here is what surprises most people. The toes may start the lift, but movement number 3 taps into the true powerhouse of circulation. It is the muscle, often called your second heart, and when you learn how to wake it up, everything changes. Let me show you number 3. There is a muscle in your body that quietly works behind the scenes, a muscle so important that many doctors call it your second heart. It sits in your lower leg, and when it fires the way it should, it pushes blood upward with remarkable power. But after 60, that same muscle often weakens, tightens, or simply forgets how to contract fully. And when it does, poor circulation in the feet starts showing up more often. Heavy legs, cold toes, that slow dragging sensation when you walk from the living room to the kitchen. I once treated a man named Jameson, 72, from Colorado. He wore compression socks every day for 15 years. They helped a little, but never gave him the warmth he missed. He told me, "Dr. James, I feel like my feet are far away from my body." When I asked him to stand on his toes, he barely lifted an inch. His calf pump, the very engine of leg blood flow, had gone quiet. Think of your calf as a fuel pump beneath a car. If the pump is weak, it does not matter how good the engine is. The fuel cannot reach where it needs to go. In the same way, when the calf pump weakens, leg blood flow slows down. Blood pools in the feet, warmth fades, and your legs start working harder than ever just to keep you moving. The calf squeeze reset is one of the simplest ways to wake this pump back up. It does not require strength. It does not require balance. You can do it sitting in your favorite recliner, watching the evening news, or even while waiting for your morning coffee to brew. The gentle squeezing motion helps the calf reopen its internal pressure system, pushing blood upward and relieving the burden on your feet. When Jameson practiced this movement every afternoon, he told me something I will never forget. "My feet feel like they belong to me again." The warmth returned. The heaviness lifted. It was the first time in years he walked to his mailbox without stopping halfway. But here is the part most people never hear. Blood flow alone is not the only issue. After 60, your nerves begin to stiffen. 2. They stop gliding the way they used to. And when nerves lose their smooth pathway, even good circulation cannot fix the problem. Movement number 2 is all about waking up that nerve glide. And for many older adults, it is the missing link. Let me show you number 2. There is a moment many older adults know too well. You stand up from your favorite recliner, take a step toward the kitchen, and suddenly your foot feels like it is not part of your body. It hesitates. It drags. It feels heavy, almost disconnected. And while most people blame age or stiff joints, the real reason often lies somewhere few people ever think about: your nerves, and how smoothly they glide. After 60, the nerves in your legs begin to stiffen, just like old telephone wires wrapped too tightly. They do not slide through the surrounding tissues the way they once did. When that glide is lost, even good leg blood flow cannot fully restore the warmth or the control you used to have. This is why so many seniors say, "My feet feel slow, even when my heart is fine." It is also why poor circulation in the feet often feels worse at night or after sitting too long. I once worked with a man named Mike, 66, a retired truck driver from Arizona. He told me, "Dr. James, sometimes my feet do not listen. I give the signal, but they move late." When I asked him to glide his heels slowly across the floor, something became clear. His nerves were not sending signals smoothly. They were hesitating, catching, almost like a zipper snagging on fabric. The heel glide, neural wake-up, helps restore that smooth pathway. It does not force the muscles to work harder. Instead, it teaches the nerves to slide again. Think of it as polishing the tracks so the train can finally move without resistance. When Mike practiced the heel glide each morning before stepping out of his truck cab, he said the change was unbelievable. "My legs feel lighter. My feet wake up faster than I do." You can do this movement anywhere. While watching the morning news, while sitting at the edge of your bed, even during a long car ride, when your legs normally stiffen. Each slow glide sends a gentle invitation to your nerves, reminding them how to move again, opening the door for better leg blood flow and steadier steps. But here is the part I want you to hear. When your nerves and your feet finally start working together again, there is one more movement that brings everything home. It is the simplest, fastest way to warm your feet, relieve heaviness, and boost circulation in under a minute. Let me show you number one. Of all the movements I teach, this one is the simplest, the gentlest, and often the most surprising. Many older adults tell me they feel the difference in under a minute. After years of cold toes, heavy legs, and poor circulation in feet, they try this movement once and say, "Why did no one tell me this earlier?" And the reason it works so quickly is that it taps directly into the natural return system of your veins, the same system your body depends on every day to move blood upward against gravity. When you elevate your legs, even slightly, you tilt the entire pathway of leg blood flow in your favor. Instead of fighting gravity, your feet finally get a chance to rest, to release pressure, and to allow blood to return home. It is not forceful. It is not an exercise in the traditional sense. It is simply creating conditions where your body can restore circulation naturally, without strain. I remember a woman named Linda, 76, who lived in Minnesota. Winters there are unforgiving. She told me her feet had felt cold every night for 15 years. She would pile blankets on her legs, wear thick wool socks, and even warm a heating pad before bed. Nothing helped. When I showed her the elevated pump, she looked doubtful at first. But after 30 seconds, she whispered, "My feet are warming. I have not felt this in so long." Sometimes, the body does not need more effort, it needs the right angle. Think of your veins as tiny escalators. When your legs are below your heart, those escalators work hard to push blood upward. But when you raise your legs, the escalators tilt, gravity shifts, and suddenly, blood can glide upward with almost no resistance. Then, with a gentle ankle pump at the same time, you activate the strongest upward flow your body can create without standing or walking. It is a moment of relief your feet have long deserved. You can do this in bed, on the couch, or even on the living room floor with your legs resting on the sofa. Just a few minutes a day can ease heaviness, warm your feet, and help restore leg blood flow more smoothly. But here is the truth I want you to carry with you. None of these movements matters unless you understand what your body is still capable of at your age. The next part is the most important of all. It is the reminder every older adult deserves to hear. Let me take you into the final message. If you are over 60, I want you to hear something clearly, maybe more clearly than anything else I have said today. Your body is not giving up. It is not broken. Even if you have struggled with poor circulation in your feet for years, even if your legs feel heavy at the end of the day, even if you worry that warmth and ease are things you have lost forever, there is a deeper truth beneath all of that. Your body is still trying to heal. It always has been. It just needs the right conditions, the right movements, the right kind of attention, so it can do the job it has wanted to do all along. I have seen this again and again. Older adults who felt cold feet every night begin to feel warmth returning. People who thought their leg blood flow would never improve suddenly find themselves walking farther, standing longer, and moving with a sense of steadiness they thought was gone for good. Not because they pushed harder, but because they listened. Because they gave their bodies what they needed instead of forcing what they could not do. Behind every improvement is a simple truth. Healing does not disappear with age. It slows down. Yes. It becomes quieter. Yes. But it never stops. And when you practice these gentle movements, you send your body a message it has been waiting for. You tell your feet, your calves, your nerves, I have not forgotten you. I am here. I am helping now. So start small. Tonight, try just one movement. Maybe the ankle sweep before bed, maybe the elevated pump while watching your favorite evening show. Let your body feel what it is like when leg blood flow begins to open again. Let your feet feel that soft, steady warmth returning. And now I want to hear from you. Which movement felt like it spoke to your body the most? Tell me in the comments. Your story may help someone else who has been afraid to start. If this video helped you understand your legs and feet a little more kindly, I would be honored if you subscribed. We will continue this journey together, step by gentle step, because your body still wants to heal, and it is never too late to give it a chance.